These homes I probably personally wouldn't buy in Oakville, and if you love one of these categories, that's absolutely okay. There's no shade here. You do you. I'm just here to be that honest friend who says, I love your vibe, but please don't. Hey everyone, it's Alex again. I live here, I work here. I have toured so many homes in Oakville, and by so many, I literally mean so many. So if you are house hunting and everything's kind of starting to look like a blur from nice kitchen to weird smell, this video will probably save you some time and money and maybe a couple of therapy sessions. So the first property I wouldn't buy, honestly, is the 100-year-old Charmer. You can find these in pockets like Old Oakville and Kerr, and also some pockets by the lake. And don't get me wrong, I love heritage homes. I love the trim in these properties. I love the fireplaces that tell stories and, the old historic staircases that were built 100 years ago. But these are the reasons why I probably wouldn't buy a 100-year-old home. One, there's probably knob and tube lurking behind that updated panel and behind the drywall. And if there is knob and tube, your insurance is going to go higher. Aluminum and cloth insulated wiring. In the 60s and 70s, aluminum needed proper pigtailing. The plumbing, there's probably old cast iron galvanized drains, possibly lead services on a line that led to the water supplies in very old pockets. And let's be honest, there's probably asbestos in and around the ducts, maybe in the attic. Even if you remotely touch that, you have to remove it all. And then safety stuff. Would I never ever buy these homes? I would, but with proper inspections and everything on hand. The second type of property I probably wouldn't buy is anything in a regulated floodplain. So anything with repeat water drama. And where this pops up, along 16 Mile Creek sometimes, Bronte Creek, any low points near the lake. Canada doesn't have any FEMA maps, but we do have a Conservation Authority floodlines. So if a lot touches 1 by 100 floodplain or in regulated areas, expect extra approvals and potentially higher insurance premiums. Even outside the line, repeated basement seepage or sub pumps going every rainfall is a major tell. Green flags here, no water entry history in writing. Proper exterior grading, working eaves and down troughs, a backwater valve, a sub pump with backline, overland water and sewage backup coverage available from your insurer. A hard pass for me is houses with patterns of water claims, or we get a little water after a big storm type of answer. Oakville storms are not getting calmer, okay? We have had some serious storms over the last couple years, and flooding does happen. So the third property I wouldn't buy is properties with underground oil tanks or even decommissioned oil tanks, okay? Older homes sometimes ran on oil, and Ontario treats UTAs seriously. And many insurers won't even touch a property with an active or abandoned tank on site. This is more for like rural Oakville. My rule is if a tank ever existed, I want proof of removal and soil testing by an environmental consultant and closure documentation. If the seller only offer foam filled and abandoned in place, I'm out. Straight hard no. Small leaks become six-figure remediation bills, and nobody wants to fund a backyard archaeology dig. Nobody does. The fourth property I would not buy is the flip by a numbered company with creative carpentry. And that is the polite way of saying it, okay? Not all flips are bad. Some are fantastic, but the quick paint and spray special, absolutely no thanks. I do not want that. Some of the red flags during a showing on a flip property are crooked baseboards, missed caulk lines, lumpy drywall. If visible stuff is sloppy, the invisible stuff would be absolutely terrifying, and you can't remove walls during a showing, okay? And also, if it has a new kitchen and bath, but the electrical and the vents are ancient, let's get the heck out of here. Also, if there's no ECA certificates, no HVAC permits, and no plumbing permits, again, hard no. New windows with no stickers and no receipts and no brand info, again, huge red flag. On these types of properties, my ask would be permit history from the town of Oakville, ESA clearances, itemized contractor invoices, and if it's a true rebuild by a registered builder, ask about Tarion. That's rare on flips, but common on new builds. So again, if there's no paper trail for that numbered company flip, and they're only going off vibes only, I'll totally pass. The fifth home I probably wouldn't buy is homes with problematic materials, insurers side eye. What I mean by this is a few greatest hits you'll meet around the GTA. Okay? High-tech plumbing, which was common between 1995 and 2007, insurers often require replacement. Condos with high-tech plumbing face expensive rising projects, okay? There's also poly B, which is less common, but it still exists, also unpopular with insurers. Now, synthetic stucco, which was the early 900s to the 2000s, can trap moisture if it's installed wrong, and it would need a specialist inspection. Old cedar shake roofs at the end of life, they're gorgeous, but they're really pricey to replace. And I'm not saying never, but I'm saying budget for replacement or negotiate hard on those properties. Number 6 on the list is the overtop custom everything. I've toured homes that are way over the top. One even had a golf simulator in it where the dining room should be. The kitchen was so over the top that I couldn't stand it. And the math. You might love it now, but resale value down the line, when you are thinking over the top custom renovations, you should do that for your own home. You shouldn't custom build a property that's way over the line and then try to resell it to a very small buyer pool, okay? Now, Oakville's buyer taste right now might be bright and clean and modern transitional with functional storage and calm finishes, but if you adore that look and that over the top, that's all you. 7th property I wouldn't buy is a DIY or basement suites with no paper trail, okay? What I look for is permits for structural work, like egress windows and electrical and plumbing for these legal basements, proper ceiling height, a fire separation for any second suite, so you have to have that emergency exit, and any evidence of moisture, the subfloor, the sub pump, the backwater valve, you have to check for those as well. A gorgeous illegal basement is still illegal. If your plan includes income, make sure that second suite is in fact legal, or you will have to budget to bring it up to code with the town. Okay. This is one I also wouldn't buy, which is condos with scary financials. Oakville has some wonderful condos in Old Bronte and Old Oakville, but do not buy the maintenance fee alone. And here's what to read, and really read when you're buying a condo. The status certificate. Is the reserve fund healthy? Is there any upcoming projects? And is there any special assessments levied on the building and on your unit? I would check, honestly, for the last 12 months. I would also check the building's history. Was there Kitech done? Was there any balcony restoration? Was there elevators being fixed? A fair fee with a healthy reserve beats a low fee with a giant assessment surprise next year. Now, how to nope like a pro without losing a great house? Before you fall in love, we can pull permits, we can check if there's ESA history, we can request all of these things from the seller. We can also ask for the seller property information statement only if it's offered, and we can review that with your lawyer. For older pockets, ask about the lead service line replacement, so the water replacement, and any previous insurance claims on the property. Also, walk the exterior. Look at the grading from the house, look at the downspouts if they are away from the property. And if you still love it, let's bring a specialist inspector, so a heritage inspector, someone who is familiar with aluminum wiring, someone who has been in the business for a long time and has history of these types of properties and doing inspections. Put all of these in your offer and make sure they're all conditional, because if you don't have that condition in, you are not saved, okay? So quick recap here. The 100-year-old charmer is gorgeous, but verify with ESA plumbing, asbestos structure, or have a big budget. The floodplain and water drama, check with the conservation Halton lines, overland backup coverage, and sub pump backwater situation. Third one is the underground oil tanks, demand removal and soil testing, and demand all the documents as well. Decommissioned isn't enough. The numbered company flip, no permits equals no thanks. If there's no paper trail, hard pass. Problem materials such as Kitech, Poly B, or end-of-life cedar, do an inspection and have a budget for that. The over custom everything, you love it now, but cool, but just no resale and removal costs might happen later. DIY basement or second suites, is it legal or not? If not, call it what it is and put a price on it. And condos, read the status certificate like it's your job. Well, technically it's your lawyer's job, so make sure they read it and ensure you have all the information. And that's a wrap. If you are shopping in Oakville and any of those are on your list of what you want to buy, that's absolutely okay. Just make sure you are putting the right conditions and clauses into your agreement of purchase and sale. Or if you want to ask me about a property, shoot me a message, send me the address, and I will genuinely tell you what I think and how you should proceed. Again, I am Alex, realtor, mortgage agent, and lover of all multiplexes. And if you like this video, please hit that like button, that subscribe button, and in the comments below, Tell me what type of property is a hard no for you and what you would pass on.